take another look at some things. I watched a video the other day that actually had this title, Keep Your Eye on Your Why. And I guess it was last Thursday or Friday or something like that. And that just, it resonated with me, just that thought. So I thought I would do something like this today. The title of this post is Keep Your Eye on Your Why and Why That Matters. I can't even talk. Keep your eye on your why and why that matters. Each of us have the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to work with. That time frame tends to get taken up with all kinds of things. As I wrote in a previous article entitled Distractions, a distraction is anything that takes you away from what you should be focused on. We live in a world that is filled with constant distractions. There are unlimited activities floating around us at all times that take our attention. As those activities mount up, we start feeling like we're on a treadmill going nowhere because we can't seem to accomplish the goals that we set out to do. You have to keep your eye on your why if you're going to get past all of those distractions. Now, why is that? Because if you don't, you won't ever get to where you're wanting to go. You'll just exist going around and around on this merry-go-round of life. So what do? Well, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, have I really determined my why? Have I taken the time to figure out what is most important to me? Have I sat down and made a plan of how I want to reach that goal? The problem with setting goals is that we tend to set a goal that's so grand in scope that, at least for now, we know that we can't possibly reach it, such as, I want to make $1 million. Not that that's unattainable, but you do need a plan in order to get to that goal. Have you done that? It's fine to have a major goal in mind, but why do you want that $1 million? Have you ever thought of it in those terms? What would you do with it if you had it? Would you help your fellow man? Would you spend it on yourself, someone else? Would you just buy everything until you ran out of money? Money isn't always the answer if you haven't planned how to use it wisely. There are literally hundreds of stories of folks who've come into $1 million and are broke in just a short time. Are you starting to get the picture? There's a difference in how you should look at goals and your why. A goal is basically an end point. Your why is the reason you want to get to that goal. As has been said many, many times by wiser heads than mine, if your why isn't big enough, strong enough, you'll never reach your goals. So I ask you today to take another look at your why. Is it big enough? Is it something that you're willing to fight for, die for even? Do you think it's asked too plain? I don't think so. If your why isn't that big, you'll never be able to keep your eye on your why. You'll always let life distract you because whatever is going on at the moment will be bigger than your why. Imagine a life filled with dreams but never reaching any of those because you didn't develop a plan, a map of how to get to those dreams, and dying disappointed. A dream is just a goal without a why. It's fun to dream, but without a why, that's all it'll ever be. Rethink your why and then determine how you're going to achieve it. I hope that helps somebody. My goal here today was to, to kind of jar you just a little bit. A lot of us may be thinking that, there's no use with the disappointments and things that come along every day. We get to a place to where, why even try? I can't do anything. Well, just check yourself. Check yourself. What's your why? What is it that you got into the internet network marketing field, if I can say it that way? What is it that caused you to do that? What are you looking for? And are you willing to do what it takes in order to get there? There's so many things going on in the world today. We've got a government today that's trying to help you to come to a place to where that everything that you get needs to come from the government. They want you to surrender yourself to everything about the government. Are you independent enough to go get it yourself in place of having to depend on someone else to bring it to you? It's just some questions that I've got. And it's up to you. I can't do it for you. Sam can't do it for you. Ramon can't do it for you. Miss Pat can't do it for you. The different ones that are here can't do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. The only way that you're going to be able to do that, like I said in this little post here, is just a few words, but I was just thinking about that this weekend. Why? there's a difference between your goals and your why. A goal is just a dream unless you've got a why attached to it. What is your why? You don't have to tell me. It's not important, that you tell me what your why is, but it is important for you to know what it is. If you know what your why is, and if it's strong enough, it doesn't matter what coming up. It doesn't matter whether Hillary or Trump or Johnson or any of the other jugheads out there, whether they get in the White House. It doesn't matter what's going to come and what isn't going to come, and whose ideas and theories are out there, folks. If your why is big enough, you're going to do whatever you have to do in order to reach it. So my suggestion and my entreaty today, I suppose, would be to just ask you, have you thought about your why in a little bit? Could it be, if you're not where you want to be, could it be that your why is not strong enough? Could it be that you need to revisit that? Now, I'm going to tell you up front, this goal setting and all that kind of stuff, to me, that has been, for a fancy word, that's been anathema. For me, that's been something that, well, that's just so much psychiatric BS, so to speak. For me, that's the way it's always been. All right, good enough. Could that be that because I refuse to even look at that is the reason I'm where I'm at today? That's entirely possible. Ask yourself that question. Once again, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to put up with in order to reach your goal? Is your why big enough? And that's all I've got for you today. Now, I have San and Ramon here in the background. Both of them have some things to tell you, but just consider about your why, if you would. San, Ramon, one of you guys, you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that. That was a great story. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending today's webinar. Ray May shared some key points, some great stuff. You have to understand what your why is. Why is very important to know what is it you are seeking, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's fame, fortune, or just health in general. Your why, you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't know that, you might want to go to the drawing board and start writing some stuff down, because it's very important to know what your goals are. If you don't know what they are and why you're doing it, then why are you doing it? I guess it's a short story. That's my short version of it. But thanks, Ray, for sharing. I'm going to go ahead and share something that I found in my my archives. This is I'm talking about 3-4 years ago, and to this day it's still very powerful. I have an old autoresponder that I've been using for 3-4 years ago, 4 years ago, and it's still active. I thought I shut it down. Then I got an email today from myself, and I'm like, man, this is powerful. I forgot about that. Let me go ahead and share that today. It's just, and again, I think that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if you don't mind, Ray. I'm going to go ahead and take that over.
Yes, sir.
Again, I added it to my blog only because I think that this is a great post. Do these 3 things to make connections that matter. Forming meaningful relationships with the right people has a direct impact on the success of your business. And that's great news if you were born with an outgoing personality. But what if you consider yourself to be more of an introvert? Is your business doomed? I've asked myself this a lot recently. As I look back on the success I've had forming deep relationships with influential people, I realize that making meaningful connections in a networking situation isn't about introversion or extroversion. Here's 3 steps to building strong relationships, no matter where you fall on the personality spectrum. Related, again, this is some relation to it. Your first question should excite them. Do you? This is talking about you speaking to someone that you do not know, building relationship, shake hands methods. That what we taught before. We continue to teach about this because you need to know. And if you don't have an outgoing personality, you're going to have a problem. Okay, but these steps here will help you if you don't have that outgoing personality. Okay, so your first question should excite them, like the person you're actually coming up to talk with personally, one-on-one. Do you open a conversation exchanging names and a handshake followed by "So Barbara, what do you do for a living?" How many people ask you that in a message on Facebook? Happens lots of times. If so, know that you're like everyone else in some ways. That's a good thing, but if the goal is to be memorable and make meaningful connections, you may want to try something different. One question that's worked well for my clients is, so Barbara, what's happening in your life right now that really excites you? By opening with a question like this, you immediately distinguish yourself. You also quickly tap into the person's passions, which will help you form a connection faster than most others will, even after several conversations, because they will immediately tell you what they're about, what they love, what they're doing, etc. So knowing that, then you can follow up with some questions, maybe something that you can offer and vice versa. Be more interested than interesting. Many people dominate a conversation trying to get the other person to think they are interesting. It feels good to talk about yourself, but it doesn't make the other person feel as good. This is where the most effective networkers take a different approach. They focus on being interested in you instead of getting you to think they are interesting. Again, this is a related post. They ask questions about your business, your passions, and often make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. How much are you talking about yourself? How much are you talking about yourself? And how much time do you spend asking questions and being interested in others? Pay attention to your body language as well. Are you showing them you're interested? The next time you're speaking with someone, think about this. Are you facing the person and looking into their eyes with intention? Focus on being interested in them, and they'll think you're interesting. Be valuable. That's another top. Be valuable. We talk about value all the time, ladies and gentlemen. This is not something that's been just written about or just taught. This has been happening for decades, ladies and gentlemen. Be valuable. As an entrepreneur, you have a long list of challenges waiting to be tackled every day. Don't think you're alone. Everyone has something they need help with. The easiest way to be valuable to someone is to help solve his or her problems. You'll make profound impression if you conclude conversation with, what's the one thing you're working on right now where you need the most help? How can I help you? Something happens when you sincerely offer to help someone. At first, they may look at you like you just grew a third eye, but then the walls come down, and they open themselves up by sharing where they need assistance. That's if they're not so high and mighty. Many of them will say they don't need help anywhere, but again, you want to bypass those individuals. At this point, let them know if you can help them directly or if there's someone you can connect them with. If you cannot, then simply share that I can't help you directly, but what I can do is scout for you. If I come across someone who I think can help, I'll make a connection. Then take action on your commitments. If you follow these 3 steps, you'll begin to connect with others in meaningful ways and become a person of real value. How many of you understood this article? Have you been in similar circumstances where it was difficult to make a connection, or you follow up with that same question like everyone else does? How many of you have done that? How many of you have messaged someone? What do you do for a living? Type Y in a box. Let's see. I want to see what your questions are. I mean, this happens to me all the time. When they ask me, hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? They always ask me this. But this is the first, I guess that's the question that's popular, and everyone does it. But just because everyone does it doesn't mean you should do it too. And you want to change stuff around. This is why it's very important that you stand out from the crowd. Become different. Show real value. Show them that you really care about helping them. Let them know that the conversation that you're having with them is about them, not about you. Not about you being the superstar. Not about you being, this and that and then some. You're talking about helping them in whatever way possible, with their online efforts, business, etc. Maybe you see something on their page that looks out of the ordinary. Maybe there's something that they can fix. Don't just ignore it. Let them know, because this is a great way to open up a conversation. Instead of saying, hey, how do you make, what do you do for a living? You can say, hey, I noticed that your Facebook post has, again, they may get upset, but some people, again, some people have no skin, and some people have thick skins. But again, you're just assisting and helping. And in the reality of it is, majority of the time, when you're being sincere and you're looking to help someone, they'll realize it. If it's not immediate, they will realize it, down the road. But that being said, you can do things like this. Don't just try to sell everyone every time, because in reality, they may come back and ask you, hey, thanks for the help. I appreciate it. Do you mind if I add your friends or whatever, they may do. And they may ask you some questions. Then you can start a conversation there as well. But your goal is to keep them as most important. Keep them at the limelight, not yourself or your business or your company. Of granted, you do want to help them, and granted, you do want to promote, and granted, we understand all of that. But if you're going to be able to do that, just don't rush into it. Don't rush into it. If you're trying to build a true, meaningful relationship. If you get what I mean by that is friendship, networking, partnership, in some sorts. But hopefully you guys get this article. It's a great one. I loved it. And that's exactly why I wanted to share it with all of you today, because it touched on key points, and many of us go through this daily. So if you were able to, switch up a bit and try doing it this way, using this method, and see how that works. Make it about them. Try. Don't come out with that question at first. What do you do for a living? Try something different. What are you doing in your life that excites you? Those type questions, rather than the ones that everyone else is asking. What are you doing right now in your life that excites you? They may say I'm swimming, or I love swimming, or I love fishing, or I love farming, like Ray. But you get the idea. So hopefully you guys can get this, use it, apply it, share it. It's valuable. I'm noticing that a lot of people don't like reading articles. It's a big mistake. Big mistake. I mean, if you don't like reading articles, you can learn a lot from these articles. I mean, I've learned a lot going down the road of network marketing, learning and reading different articles here and there, magazines, Entrepreneur, HubSpot. These are magazine articles that I've read. I also share them as well. Articles like this here is a phenomenal way for you to share content all over social media. How many of you have your blog up and running? I know Ray does. He just shared his. Your blog is a great place to put this information, because if you're giving something of value, it's a great place for you to start sharing your content. You don't necessarily have to sell everyone on every program you're in. There was a conversation I had with a gentleman through a support ticket system. He said that somebody referred him to our program. I said, that's awesome. He says, but he didn't know where to start. I said, well, the person that referred you, obviously wasn't doing his job, number one. And he said he sent a reply to the gentleman, and the gentleman sent him another message saying that he's no longer promoting our program, that he's doing something else. I said, affiliate people that make money online, or affiliates, when they stop promoting something, they're not going to tell you to go there, because they're not making any money anymore off this individual. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that program won't help them, because I said, listen, just because the gentleman is not here, I said, I'm the support guy. I mean, we're CEOs here. I said, we'll be more than willing to help you best we can. I said, just because the gentleman is not here anymore doesn't mean you can't make money, you can't learn from our program or use it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just to make a long story short, I mean, there's going to be people like that. When there's individuals on that contact me from my old program because I have a video up, and they always contact me. Either they call, or they write, or they text, and I always let them know I'm no longer in that program. I said, but if I would tell you to experience it for yourself. That way you get the in and out of that program. I said, but in reality, if you know there's something wrong with that program and it's very bad, yeah, you can share the tip with them so they know, But again, you did it. It's your video. You can then guide them to wherever you want them to go. But if the system works, because I say, hey, this is what I tell them. If the system works, I said, experience it. Give it a shot. This is what I tell them. I don't veer them away immediately to come follow me and everything else I do. That's just the way I am. I'm not trying to, I'm not looking for, obviously we all want signups, but that system may help him or her better than it did me. So what I would tell them is say, hey, you need to experience it yourself. Give it a shot. And some days, I'll say, hey, I'm not working on this system. I'm not no longer promoting that program. I said I have something else I could share with you if you would like to listen and learn. And there was a gentleman in Florida that me and him have conversations on the phone last week about 3 different times. And he was asking questions. I answered, but back and forth. And he was excited. He was excited. And just I guess what I'm trying to tell you is if you make it about them and not you know overexert and trying to sell these individuals, you may not start noticing that they may see you as a more valuable person than they originally thought. Just giving value, showing value, helping people. I would encourage everyone on this call right now to create a video showing you using our software. This is going to help you sell the system. It really truly will. I don't know ands ifs. There's no ands if or buts about it. It works, plain and simple. If you use something, it's like anything else. There's people logging on Facebook that don't know how to use Facebook, but those people that created a video showing them how to log into Facebook, do you know they got like 100 million views, 100,000 views, 50,000 views? Because there's someone that's brand new to network marketing, someone brand new to the system that needs to know how to do something. And if you can create that for yourself, create that content, that video showing them how valuable you are, how valuable the program is that you're in, if you show them that, they're going to either sign up or ask questions. If they ask questions, that's a good thing. They ask questions, that means they're interested. Now it's your goal to then show them how valuable it is, show them how it can work for them and how it can benefit them. And eventually, maybe they may not sign up immediately. Some of them will, some of them won't. But about a week, 2 weeks later, possibly they may be a member. We had one of our members sign up somebody 6 months ago, and they signed up 6 months later. So you get the idea. So your goal, if you could take something away today, is give value. Create these videos, create PDFs, create content. We've given so many of you so many ways to build your business, so many ideas, so many tips on how to get the limelight on you, how to bring yourself out into this network marketing industry and become just in the limelight, so people can actually see and understand what you're about, showing your value and what you're worth. If you don't create this type of content, you're not looking for this value, you're not sharing this value, no one's going to see you're not worth anything. There's no price tag over your head saying, hey, I'm worth $1 million. In reality, everybody's going to think you're worth zero because you ain't giving nothing. You ain't sharing nothing. You ain't helping nobody if you're not doing anything like that. So how do you expect to attract people if you're not attractive? And I don't mean that physically. I mean that, through marketing, your marketing efforts. Think about it. How many of those people you see posting day in and day out about articles and blogs about their blogs and showing how to do this, how to email market, that's value. People doing it because it's worth doing. They're giving value to people. Are you doing that? No. If you're not doing it, of course you're going to have problems becoming a sales expert. You're not selling yourself. You're not selling your blog. You're not making any money. You're not making money if you're not attracting anyone to your platform, program, website, social. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're not giving nothing of value, you're not creating videos, you're not creating articles, you're not sharing valuable content, you're not networking, you're not talking on the phone, you're not messaging, then you're not making money. And it's going to continue to happen. Look at your profile accounts, watch what you're posting. If you have to understand, if you're trying to become someone of influence, someone that's valuable, I occasionally slip up and post something stupid, but because I thought it was funny, but someone else might not find it funny. So again, that also has to do with it too. Be careful what you post because that can take away from your business as well. You want to keep it generic and comfortable for everyone to like it, not just a certain type of people. So be careful with that as well. This is a lot of different tips that you can get with social media. We have a valuable tool in our hands. I mean, all around. I mean, social media in general, not the software we sell, but you get what I'm saying. Like social media in general, that can get you and attract so many different people to know, like, and trust you. You can build rapport and relationship with individuals by interacting, engaging, and commenting, liking, and vice versa. If you continue to do this daily, you're going to notice that your account's going to start growing daily. If you stop and do nothing, you get nothing. Put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. If you want to make money, you got to put in the work. If you're not creating video, look at Lonnie stepping up. He's creating videos about, um, his church, and Ray Main puts up videos about his church. I'm not a church guy, but I still watch these videos and I like them. I mean, but the point is that that's what they like doing, and that's what they're doing. They're giving value somehow, some way, and continue to doing it and having fun doing it. That's a great thing. I mean, whatever you're doing, I mean, but the point I'm trying to make, they're putting themselves out there. They're there. You can see them. They're commenting. They're liking. They're sharing. People are commenting, liking, and sharing with them as well. What are you doing different? If you're not doing that, what are you doing different? So you get what I'm saying? So hopefully you can get something from this today and understand that there's better ways to make connections. And again, if you want to read this blog, I will post it and share it in our Facebook group. That way you guys can read it. It's a great one. So that being said, I'm going to stop myself from speaking. Thank Ray Main for sharing. Appreciate you.
Surely. Can I add something to what you said about that particular article right there?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Everybody needs to realize that whenever you make connections out there, especially if you're the aggressor, and what I mean by that, you're the one that institutes the connection. People's BS meter, how many times have you heard Ramon and Sand talk about the people's BS meter? Their BS meter is active and functioning and things, and unless you approach these people with an actual sincere, being sincere whenever you approach them, you sincerely care. What are you doing? What do you do for a living? You sincerely want to know. They can tell if you're just wanting to hurry up and get past that question and get to your pitch. You want to keep that in mind. If you don't ask these types of questions, sincerely wanting to help, wanting to know, wanting to figure out how you can help, or just making the connection. That ought to be the main thing. Just making the connection. If you're not sincere in that, they're going to know and they're going to shut you down. There's going to be a door that's going to be shut right in your face right away. I just want to throw that in there.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, Ray Main sharing some great points. Hopefully you guys understand where we're coming from, as well as this article here as well. So I'll go ahead and post so you guys can hopefully get something from it, and maybe change the way you market and the way you build relationships with individuals. So
Thanks,
Yep.
Ramon.
Hey, post that article, man. Awesome stuff. I thought I was looking in the mirror talking to myself when you was saying that, because I mean, I could just remember yesterday or a few days ago when we was just talking about, in other layman terms, keeping it real. Like Ray just thought about, and I tell people, it's the scripts are okay, but you have to own it. You have to be that. You have to believe that. And the only way you can do that is you have to really find out that why is purpose, and purpose is that passion. And if you focus on that, that will always lead you in the right direction. If you're looking at your own passion, what drives you, what gets you up in the morning, what motivates you, nothing really motivates you. It's what is really going to make you do it irregardless. And those are the types of things that you ask yourself. And if those things resound with you, just think of what happens across the river on the other side when you're talking to other people. It's going to work the same, because we're all human beings. We're all based from the same fabric. But in order to answer those questions, you got to be in touch with who created you. Why are you even here? Every day I wake up and ask, am I moving closer to my purpose? Sam, what is your gift and your talent that separates you from everybody else? Why would he even waste time creating you for you to be here. It might have been an accident in somebody's eyes, but it was on purpose on other side. It was a purpose behind it. And so in order for me to really answer that question, I got to get in touch with the one who created me. And I don't know if you guys know who created you. Maybe that might be the mystery and the question when you wake up every day. Am I an atom, or whether there's a real purpose of why I was here? Look at what you're good at and how you really some of the things you do, whether it's talking, whether it's being a servant, helping people. Those are the types of things that you have to really get in touch with. And I think a lot of us are still going through life not knowing that why, and then being able to focus on that every day. I know my passion is to help other people in some type of capacity. And I know that God's given me some type of ability or gift to be able to speak and convey my feelings to other people. And if I use that every day and leverage that every day, then I'm going to always be moving in the right direction. And I need to be not on one platform talking to one person, but I need to be on a platform where I can talk to massive amount of people. So that's what drives me every day. And I know my purpose and why I get up every morning at 6 o'clock. Nobody makes me do that. I do it on my own because I'm excited about the next day to connect to a new person and find out why they do what they do and how can I help them achieve that goal. I know that. So that is my why. That's my purpose. And if nothing else, I've already became successful. And I'm living that every day. Whether I have the money in my bank account or everything goes the way I want it to go, no. But every day I'm living in my purpose and walking in my dream. So everybody should be at that level, and you have the opportunity to do that. Every day, every Monday, every hour, every minute to get back on track and then focus in on what you're passionate about and finding other people and helping them sharing your same thing. So whatever, hey, Ray, you and Ramon knocked that out of the park. Ramon, you killed it. I'm glad you came on this morning, Ray. It was just so funny that I was listening to Steve Harvey, and he was talking about the same thing just the other day. Before he starts his show, he gets into he puts on his sermon tie or whatever he gets into. But it's just kind of funny how some of the messages that will come from the most ironic people. And then you can hear that that message was for you. And hopefully this morning this message hit somebody, hit them home, and know that this is the reason why we come together every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Make sure you get your people here so they can share in some of the magic that happens, not just the stuff that we talk about, but the stuff we come into realization and realize that together everyone achieves more. We are all working together in this thing, network marketing or life or whatever you want to call it. We're working together, and without each other, we can't get to our goal. We'll never get there. We have to lean and depend on one another to get there. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of $25 Legacy and your business. And in that, we help you find your passion and what you're doing so we can help do what we do a little bit better. So, Ray, I'm going to turn it over to you. Close it out.
I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate your help. Appreciate what both San and Ramon had to say. I appreciate all of y'all for taking time out to give me a chance to vent on Mondays, I suppose. A lot of times it's kind of like preaching in a way, what this Motivational Monday is for me. I found, and it's not a real comfortable place, to be honest with you, but it helps whenever I realize that the things that I talk about here, just like the things that I talk about across the pulpit, is generally the things that I need to be working on myself. It's odd how that works. The things that come to you, the things that we want to talk about, and then in retrospect, you get to looking at it and wait a minute, I need to practice what I preach, those kind of things. So anyway, does anybody else, I'm going to give you opportunity, does anybody else have anything that you want to contribute this morning? I don't want to cut you out, but we don't want to keep you over long either. All right. Well, with that,
I
we're going to
just
call
want
it.
to say,
Go ahead, Lonnie.
I want to say, guys, when I went to pull up the email, to get on the call this morning, I saw that I had an email back there that someone signed up. So when I get off of this call, I'm going to look and see if they are paid or free. Either way, I'm going to follow the steps that we've been learning on the training by, contacting this person and saying hello and introducing them. And so I'm happy. It really is working for anybody that's questioning what you're doing this week with 25 Legacy. It's working, guys, and all the rest of the things that I do in business. And thank you so much for this morning's call.
Well,
Learned a lot.
Congratulations. It's I guess I'm not the only one that whenever you actually apply what the trainers train you to do and say, it does work after all. So anyhow, we will have, tomorrow is Presentation Tuesday. I want to mention that before we go. Don't forget that. We'll have to wait and see whether we actually get the presentation or not the last couple of weeks. We wound up just talking, updating, and things like that because nobody knew on the call. How come nobody knew is on the call? Well, it's probably because you haven't invited them. So if you want to hear the presentation tomorrow by Miss Pat, like no other, get some new folks on the call, and let's see where we go from there. San, Ramon, you have anything else?
That's it, boss. Appreciate you.
All right. God bless everybody.
Tomorrow.
All right, everybody be blessed today.